let's see, I'll just call people as I see them on my screen. Shazia, would you like to go ahead and read first? You can read the Arabic, and then you can just like read this first paragraph we see here and stop before we get to the next Arabic.
Okay, ma'am. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إذا السماء انفطرت when the heaven is split asunder. In Surah At-Takwir it has been said when the oceans are set ablaze, and here when the oceans are torn apart. When the two verses are read together, and this fact is also kept in view that even according to the Quran, a terrible earthquake will occur on the resurrection day, which will shake up the entire earth all at once. The state of the splitting of the oceans and their being set ablaze seems to be as follows. First, because of the terrible convulsion, the bottom of the ocean will split asunder, and their water will start sinking into the interior of the earth, where an intensely hot lava is constantly boiling up. Coming into contact with the lava, water will dissolve into its two constituent parts: oxygen, which helps combustion, and hydrogen, which is itself combustible. Thus, in the process of dissolution and combustion, a chain reaction will start, which will set all the oceans of the world ablaze. This is our conjecture. The correct knowledge is only with Allah.
Thank you. Yeah, you did a very good job. There were a lot of difficult words in here. Unfortunately, I don't have the control over this Bilal has, so I can't do the little underlines and squigglies, but I can just highlight certain words that we can try. So you did this mostly good, but it is a difficult word. So I think we should just kind of like highlight it for the class. So this word is convulsion. Can you say that? Convulsion?
Convulsion.
Yeah, so like a convulsion is like a great shaking, or like when a person, they have a convulsion, they just start shaking for some reason, and they don't, so maybe they're having a seizure. But yeah, so a convulsion is a great shaking. Here's this word earth. You said it almost good, like 99% good, but I noticed when you guys say the word earth, you kind of say earth, and you don't say the part all the way. So let me just say earth.
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 Yeah, that's better. Yeah, it's like you're saying the, like at the end of it. So the earth.
Ma'am, is its sound is like F?
No, it's the TH sound, like the, like THE.
Okay. Earth.
You said it better the time before. Earth.
Earth.
Yeah, you'll get it. Just practice. But I mean, you mostly got it. I'm just being a little nitpicky here. So the Earth is the planet we live on. And then this word is hard. So we'll go over this. Constituent.
Constituent.
Yeah, there you go. You got it this time. So let me show you guys what it means in the dictionary, because I have a vague explanation of it, but I think dictionary.com will do better. So it basically serving to compose or make up a thing. So there's the components. Let's see. So a constituent is basically just the important parts that make up a thing, basically. Constituent. All right. So let's see who we got here. So X-Wave, would you like to read?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm just going to call people by their names that they have on the screen.
Okay, Azbillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Waizal kawakibun tasarat. When the stars are scattered. Waizal biharu fujirat. When the seas are made to burst forth. Waizal kuburu busirat. And when graves are laid open. In the first three verses, the first stage of the resurrection has been mentioned, and in this verse, the second stage is being described. Opening of the graves implies resurrection of the dead. Alimat nafsum ma nafsum ma qaddamat wa akharat. Everyone shall know all his deeds, both the earlier and the later. The words "ma qaddamat" wa "akharat" can have several meanings and all are implied here. "Ma qaddamat" is the good or evil act which man has sent forward, and "ma akharat" is what he refrained from doing. Thus, these Arabic words correspond to the acts of commission and omission in one's life. Ma qaddamat is what one did earlier and ma akharat what one did later. The whole life work of man will appear before him date-wise and in proper sequence. Whatever good and evil deeds a man did in his life is ma qaddamat, and whatever effects and influences of his acts he left behind for human society is ma akharat.
Okay, thank you, Shazia. Okay. So one word in the beginning. Sania, sorry.
It's okay, sir.
Oh, so sorry. I guess that was my cue. So the first word is scattered. Repeat after me. Scattered.
Scattered.
Yes. I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. Yeah, that's good. So scattered is when like a bunch of things kind of like go into a bunch of separate directions. I guess like when a bunch of I don't know, when a bunch of bugs come out of a hive and they scatter like, you know, in different directions. Or when you drop some food on the floor, like, you know, like you drop cake on the floor and the cake scatters all over the floor, basically. Spread, yeah.
You drop something and it spread in different directions.
Yeah, it's just, I guess spread is a good synonym for scatter.
Since Jessica mentioned a cake, a little slice of cake. Okay, and then there was the word forth, F-O-R-T-H.
Forth, yeah. So, yeah, that's good to highlight the difference for that. I think it's people use it to talk about going forward. Like I guess forward is a synonym for that, or onward.
Okay. To burst forth, to okay. And sorry, I'm also going to put a question mark on burst. The only thing I can think of is rupture.
Oh yeah, rupture. That's a good synonym to burst.
Yeah, but what would be the easier meaning?
Break. It's kind of like when a pipe, I guess, when a pipe bursts, all the water comes out.
Yeah.
Or on a medical sense, when your vein bursts and the blood comes out, which is a terrible image, but that happens, you know. Fortunately, not to the most of us, but it can happen.
Sania, what's up?
Yes, sir. When balloon burst, can we say?
Yeah, balloon bursts. That's a good way to put it. And then all the helium comes out.
Okay. Yeah, well, helium or oxygen.
That's true.
Okay. So far we have Sania, and who was the first person who read? Was it Shazia?
Yeah, it was Shazia.
Okay. And let's go with Umar.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الإنسان ما غرك بربك الكريم. O man, what has deceived you about your generous Lord? الذي خلقك فسوّك فعدلك. Who created you, shaped you, and made you well proportioned. في أي proportioned في أي سورة ما شاء ركبك, and set you in whatever form he pleased. That is, in the first place, the bounty and favor of your beneficent sustainer required that you should have acknowledged his bounties and become an obedient servant, and should have felt shame of disobeying him. But you were deluded into thinking that you have become whatever you are by your own effort, and you never thought that you should acknowledge that favor of him who gave you life. Secondly, it is your Lord's bounty and kindness that you can freely do whatever you like in the world, and it never so happens that whenever you happen to commit an error, he should punish you with paralysis or blind your eyes, or cause lightning to strike you, but you took his bountifulness for weakness and were beguiled into thinking that the kingdom of your law of your God was devoid of justice.
Okay, very good. Good, and better. You're getting better, Umar. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay. So a few underlines.
Okay, so the first one is generous. Generous.
Generous.
Yeah, there you go. So a generous person is someone who likes to share. They're charitable. That's another word for it. A charitable person. They have money and they like to share it. They have goods and they like to share their goods. And the next word is proportioned.
Proportioned.
One more time. Proportioned.
Proportioned.
Yeah, that's better. So let's see. I guess a person's proportions, I guess, are their. Oh, I froze a little bit. Their proportions are kind of like their size, their shape, I suppose. The way a person's proportioned. Let me just find the best definition just to make this clear. Proportions. Proper relation between things, the ratio.
Yeah. Balanced. You're well proportioned, you're well balanced.
Right. And I think I've seen that term used with art you know, when you're drawing a human figure and you're trying to figure out their proportions, you know, the arm is supposed to be a certain size, the head is supposed to be a certain size, the eyes, when you're drawing the head, it's like an oval, and the eyes actually usually come down halfway between the face, not at the top of the face. So, you know, those are proportions of a human being. Yeah. All right. And we got a nice little stick figure.
There we go.
Yes, expertly drawn.
Expertly drawn.
That's
I'm gonna
right.
put a belly. I'm gonna give him a belly button because that's the point.
Oh wow, there you go. Perfection.
That's right. So, you know, like if you take the proportion of your height to the proportion of your belly button, that's always the same proportion. I think it's 1.51.
Oh wow, pretty exact.
So that's in terms of just, you know, you being well proportioned. That could be an example that we can all be of different height, but usually that's one example that's given, that for a person's height versus their height between their feet and their belly button is usually the same proportion. Okay, next word.
So the next word is shy. Repeat after me. Shy.
Shy.
Oh, say it one more time. Shy.
Shy.
Yeah. So I guess shy, that can be like timid, bashful, modest. You're a little socially kind of withdrawn. You know, don't want to. You know, someone calls on you to talk for the class and you don't want to talk, you're a little shy. Okay, so I guess, I don't know, a good synonym would be bashful or timid.
Okay. Good.
Okay, and then the next word is disobeying.
Disobeying.
Yeah, disobeying. So,
Disobeying.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Disobeying.
Yeah, there you go. So often when you put dis in front of something, it means the opposite. Like we have the word appear. When we say something has a, you know, when something appears, you can see it, right? But when you have the word disappear, it means you can no longer see it. It went away. It disappeared. So here it's the same. Obey means to listen, whereas disobey means to not listen. And then our next word is, repeat after me, paralysis.
Paralysis.
Yeah, paralysis. So paralysis means you cannot move, or means unable to move. And when a person is paralyzed, that's the past tense of the word, they cannot move. People who sometimes they have horrible injuries to their spine, they lose the ability to move, they become paralyzed. Yeah, paralysis, to paralyze. Okay, the next word is blind.
Blind.
Yeah, there you go, blind. So blind means can't see. If you are blind, you cannot see. And that's a pretty straightforward word. And then there's a question mark over devoid. I'm not sure why there's a question.
Yeah, then what that means.
Oh, so I would say a good synonym for devoid is empty.
Okay.
So when it says your God was devoid of justice, it means empty of justice or missing justice.
Okay. Very good. Oh, before I go, I was just looking up quickly. What is the golden mean? The value is 1.61.
Oh, there we go. Very exact.
Yeah. It comes from that Leonardo da Vinci's depiction of human body.
Oh yeah,
Vitruvian Man.
with the person and the little circles around them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, anyways, let's move next. Sumer.
Okay, sir. Kalla bal tukazibuna biddin. No, indeed. The fact is that you deny the reckoning, declaring it a lie. This is there is no reasonable ground for you to be deluded. Your own physical existence itself tells that you did not come into being by yourself. Your parents also did not make you. Man also did not come about a result of elements combining together by themselves accidentally, but by a wise and powerful God has composed you into this perfect human shape and form. There are other kinds of animals in the world compared with which you are.
Shahzeb, continue from here.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir, can you hear me?
Yes.
There are other kinds of animals in the world compared with which your excellent form and structure and your superior powers and faculties stand out in sharp contrast. Reason demanded that in view of all this, you should have submitted grateful and should never have dared committed disobedience of your beneficent sustainer. You also know that your Lord and Sustainer is not only compassionate and bountiful, but Allah, but but Almighty and omnipotent as well. When an when when an earthquake, cyclone, or flood occurs by His command, all your devices and measures fail to be effective. You also know that your Lord and Sustainer is not ignorant and foolish, but wise and knowing, and the necessary demand of wisdom and knowledge is that whoever is given intellect intellect should also be held responsible for his acts. Whoever is given powers should also be held accountable as to how he used those powers, and whoever is given the choice to do good or evil on his own responsibility also be rewarded for his good act and punished for his evil act. All these truths are clearly and plainly known to you. Therefore, you cannot say that there exists a reasonable ground for you to be deluded concerning your Lord. Your own nature is sufficient evidence that the beneficence of the master should never cause the servant to be fearless of him, and he involved in the misunderstanding that he may know do whatever he pleases. No one can harm him in any way. There is That is, you have not been deluded and beguiled by any good reason, but by your foolish concept that there is going to be no meting out of rewards and punishments after the life of this world. It is this uh, it is this wrong and baseless concept which has made you heedless of God, fearless of His justice, and irresponsible in your moral attitude.
Okay, so I'm
Well,
gonna stop here.
okay, sir.
A few words. We'll start with here.
Okay. That word is faculties. Oh, repeat after me. Faculties.
Faculties.
Yeah. And the way it's used here is like abilities. That would be a synonym, abilities. When you're talking about a person's mental faculties, it's their mental abilities, their mental acumen, how good their mind is. If they're good at doing math, they have good mental faculties. Okay.
Okay.
The next word is gratefully.
Gratefully.
Yeah, gratefully.
Gratefully.
Yeah. So that relates to being grateful, and being grateful is being thankful. It's being someone who says Alhamdulillah a lot, because it shows that you are thankful for the things in your life, and that's very important.
So thankfully, okay. And one quick thing, I had this arrow just to point out stop at a period.
Yes.
So always stop at a period.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Next.
This next word is omnipotent.
Omnipotent.
Yeah, there you go. Omnipotent. And we talked about it before, the Latin roots of it, where omni means all and potent means powerful, or potent is your ability. That root is also in the word potential, like your potential is your abilities to do stuff. So God is all powerful. He has all the potential. Okay. The next word is beneficence.
Beneficence.
Yeah, and that's a word that Americans don't really use a lot, but you might see it sometimes. But it also comes from Latin roots. Bene means good. So anything with bene in it usually relates to something good, like a benefit or beneficial, or a benefactor, someone who's doing good. The second part, ficence, I'm not exactly sure what the Latin root of it is. I think it means will. I think it means goodwill, but don't quote me on that. But I think you could just say a synonym for beneficence is the goodness.
So, if you ask a Spanish-speaking person that, hey, how are you? They will say bene.
Or bien.
Or bien. Actually, bien. Yeah. They will say bien.
Bien.
I misspoke. Bien.
That's okay. It's close enough. I think in Italian, it's probably bene. Because
So,
Italian's closer to Latin.
Okay, good.
But Spanish is pretty close to Latin too.
So bien, which is similar root. Bene.
Yeah. Or bueno, which is also similar to that.
Okay. Next. Muzammal.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa inna alaykum lahafizin. You do so the while there are watchers over you. Kiraman katibin, noble scribes. Ya'lamuna ma taf'alun. who know what you do. That is whether you deny the meting out of rewards and punishments, belie it or mock it. The reality cannot change. The reality is that your Lord has not left you to yourself in the world, but has appointed over each one of you honest and upright guardians who are recording objectively and faithfully all your good and evil acts, and none of your acts is hidden from them, whether you commit it in darkness or in private or in far off jungles or in secret, when you are fully satisfied that whatever you have done has remained hidden from human eye. For these guardian angels, Allah has used the words Kiraman Katibin, writers who are honorable and noble. They are neither attached in personal love with somebody, nor are inimical to anybody, so that they would prepare a fictitious record on the basis of their favoring one man and unfavoring another unduly. They are neither dishonest that without being present on duty they would make wrong entries by themselves, nor are they babble so that they would take bribes and make false reports in favor of or against somebody. They are far above these moral weaknesses. Therefore, both the good and the bad people should be fully satisfied that it means good acts will be recorded without any omission, and no one will have an evil act recorded in his account which he has not done. Then the second quality that has been mentioned of these angels is they know whatever you do. That is, they are not like the secret intelligence agencies of the world, from which, despite all their search and scrutiny, many things remain hidden. They are fully aware of everyone's deeds. They they accompany every person at all places, under all conditions, in such a way that he himself does not know that someone is watching him, and they also know with what intention has somebody done a certain thing. Therefore, the record prepared by them is a complete record in which nothing has been left unrecorded. About this very thing it has been said in Surah Al-Kahf ayat 49, "Woe to us! What sort of a book it is! It has left nothing unrecorded of our doings, small or great. They will see before them everything, whatever they had done."
Okay, very good, Muzamma. I gave you a long passage to read so you can build your confidence. Okay, starting with the first one.
Okay. Deny. Can you repeat after me? Deny.
Deny.
Great. So that is a synonym for reject. Okay, so to reject, to say no. All right. The next one is satisfied. Can you repeat after me?
Satisfied.
Oops, I didn't hear the D. Satisfied.
Satisfied.
There you go. Yeah, so to be fully satisfied is to be content. Content or happy are synonyms to this word. Okay. Then the next word is neither.
Neither.
Right, that's good. So
Neither or neither, right?
Yeah, actually, Americans they sometimes say neither, they sometimes say neither. Both pronunciations are correct, which I know is confusing, but it really depends on where you're from. But I guess when you have words like neither and nor, or either and or, it's relating to two things in a list. So if you're saying someone is neither thirsty nor hungry, right? They're fasting, but they just started their fast. You know, they're only like an hour in, so they're neither thirsty nor are they hungry, or they're either thirsty or they're hungry. It's just relating. With neither, it's rejecting two things in a list. Okay.
So I put an arrow where between neither and nor, so you guys can see it.
Yeah. Okay. The next word is bribable.
Bribable.
Yeah, there you go. So if they are bribable, they're able to be bribed. Able to be bribed, able to be paid off. Okay. The next word is scrutiny.
Scrutiny.
Yeah, let's say it one more time. Scrutiny.
Scrutiny.
Yeah. So at scrutiny, at I guess to scrutinize something is to criticize. So scrutiny, maybe criticism, maybe what else would be a good
I
synonym?
was thinking investigate.
Yeah, maybe to scrutinize something is to investigate. So despite all their search and scrutiny, all their investigating, their judging, yeah, I think that's a good synonym there. All right.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, and then we have some checks, and I don't see anything else.
Yeah, well, record versus record. That's something we have corrected a few times, and he had it correct in this.
Oh, good.
Yeah, because it's hard to distinguish between a record as a noun versus record as a verb. So this was
Right.
a sentence where this word was used as verb and a noun. So I was happy. But before we let you go, I have one more question. So
Sure.
you spent some time on neither, neither, and then similarly we have another word.
Oh, tomato.
Or
Tomato.
yeah. So So there are a few words which have usually there's confusion of British versus American pronunciation.
Right.
But then there are these words where there's regional variation within America.
Right.
So people would say neither, or something tomato, tomato.
Or potato.
Oh, another one.
I think I'm not sure who is saying what where, but what I can tell you is in the South, like the Southeast, their vowels are longer. Like instead of saying I go to the theater, they say I go to the theater. They just kind of like they're dragging out like the vowels of everything. Whereas like people in the North, their vowels are shorter. Like I pack the ka and the yad. Like they're making everything like kind of short and fast. And I guess in the South things are slow and long, kind of like the way of life. I guess people are slower in the South. So all the butter they eat. It makes them slow. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I love butter, and
Yeah, butter's
I think
great.
that all of a sudden, you're explaining a lot of things in my personality, why I'm so slow at times.
It's all the butter you're eating.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there's a song as well. Neither tomato. Let's
tomato,
call the whole
tomato.
thing off.
Yeah, I've heard that song. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know.
All
We
right.
gotta. I'll finish up. Sorry, I was late.
It's okay. It happens. I've been late too.
Thank you. We'll
All
see you
right.
next week. All right.
See you next week. Walaikum salam, everyone. Have a good Ashura.
Allah Hafiz. Sir, can I leave the session, please? I have an emergency at home.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. The next, Umar.
Yes. Inal abrara la fi naim. Surely the virtuous shall be in bliss. Wa innal fujjara la fi jahim. And the wicked shall be in the blazing fire. Yaslawnaha yawmaddin. They shall enter it on the day of recompense. Wamahum anha bighaibin. And then shall never come out of it. Wama adraka ma yawmaddin. What do you know what the day of recompense is?
Okay, very good. So let's stop here. And Muzammo, can you read the last passage?
Sure, sir. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Summa ma adraka ma yawmuddin. Again, what do you know what the day of recompense is? Yawma la tamliku nafsun li nafsin shay'a wal amru yawma azin lillah. It is the day when no one shall have the power to do anything for another, and all command shall be Allah's. That is, no one there will have the power to save anyone from suffering the consequences of his deeds. No one there will be so influential, strong, or such a favorite with Allah that he should behave stubborn.
You're good.
Behave stubbornly in the divine court and say, such and such a one is a close relative or associate of mine. He will have to be forgiven no matter what evils he might have committed in the world.
Very good. So stubbornly was the first word. So repeat after me. Stubbornly.
Stubbornly.
Okay. And then Urdu ziddi. The next word is relative.
Relative.
Relative. Rishtedar. Okay. Somebody you are related to. So relative.
Relative.
Okay. I am. So where does the surah's name come from? Shahzeb, read this.
Okay, sir. Name. It is derived from the word in the first verse is an infinitive, which means to burst or split asunder, thereby implying that it is the surah in which the splitting asunder of the sky has been mentioned.
Okay, so just a minute. हम उर्दू में कहते हैं कि जी आसमान फट जाना. So splitting asunder means splitting asunder of the sky. Asunder जब वो चीज separate हो जाती है. For example, let's say if you have a block of wood, इसको आप कुल्हाड़े से चीरते हैं तो आहिस्ता आहिस्ता वो सेपरेट हो जाता है आहिस्ता आहिस्ता उसको कुल्हाड़ी से आप चीरते हैं दरमियान में से. So that's how you can visualize it, split asunder. Okay, so the next is period of revelation. Go ahead, read that too, Chazib.
The period of revelation. This surah and the Surah At-Takwir closely resemble each other in their subject matter. This shows that both were sent down in about the same period.
Okay, so what are the two periods for surahs in Quran?
Surah At-Takwir.
No, in every surah is either revealed in this location or that location. In this city
Makkah,
or that. Yeah.
Makki, Madani.
Yep, yeah. So every surah is either Makkan or Madani. Okay, so they did not say which one is this. Okay. And then theme and subject matter. Shazi, I'm going to ask you to read that.
All right, sir. Theme and subject matter. Its theme is the hereafter, according to a tradition related in Musnad Ahmad, Tirmidhi, Ibnul Mandir, Tabrani, Hakim, and Ibn Mardua, on the authority of Hazrat Abdullah bin Umar, the Holy Messenger, upon whom be peace, said, "The one who wants that he should see the resurrection day uh, as one would see it with one's eyes should read Surah At-Takwir, Surah Al-Infitar, and Surah Al-Inshiqaq. In this surah first, the resurrection day has been described, and it is said that when it occurs, every person will see whatever he has done in the world. After this, man has been asked to ponder the question, O man, what has deluded you into thinking that the God who brought you into being and by whose favor and bounty you possesses the finest body, limbs, and features among all creatures, is only bountiful and not just? His being bountiful and generous does not mean that you should become fearless of his justice. Then man has been warned so as to say, do not remain involved in any misunderstanding. Your complete record is being prepared. There are trustworthy writers who are writing down whatever you do. In conclusion, it has been forcefully stated that the day of resurrection will surely take place when the righteous shall enjoy every kind of bliss in paradise and the wicked shall be punished in hell. On that day, no one shall avail anyone anything. All powers of judgment shall be with Allah.
Very good. Thank you. So I put a question mark on word hereafter. What does that mean?
Hereafter means the day of judgment.
Yeah, the day of judgment, or after here, next life, right? Afterlife. Okay. So it's capitalized, it's proper noun, so it's next life or after this life. Okay, and then I put one underline. You read that as possessed. It's possess.
Oh, okay. Possess.
Okay, so I think there was es at the end, so you misread. So possesses. Okay, so that was the surah for today. We did Surah Al-Infitar, number 82, and next week we'll do Surah 81. Sorry, I was late. And Mubarak to everybody. We'll stop the recording here.